My name is Muhammad Kamal Zaman, and we will discuss about the war crimes for the requirement of the ICL class. Okay. The thing that we will discuss in this topic is the Rome Statute of War Crimes, definition of war crimes, grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions, protected persons under the Geneva Conventions, elements common to all war crimes, example cases, the list of war crimes in the Statute of the Tribunals and the ICC, and we will conclude with conclusion. Okay. What is war crimes? War crimes can be defined as a violation of the laws of war that be conducted by individuals that commit an action such as intentionally killing civilians and hostages, destroying property, sexual violence, and pillaging. Okay, Article 8 of the Rome Statute discuss about the war crimes. The first is grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions, serious violations of the laws and customs of international armed conflict, serious violation of Common Article 3 in a non-intentional armed conflict, and serious violation of the laws and customs of non-intentional armed conflict. And it need to be known that it is significant that the Rome Statute maintains a clear distinction between war crimes that are prohibited in international armed conflict and those applicable in internal armed conflict. For the for the will for the grave breaches of the Geneva Convention, there is a willful killing, torture, or inhuman treatment, including biological experiments, willfully causing great suffering or serious injury to body or health, extensive destruction and appropriation of property not justified by military necessity and carry on unlawfully and wantonly, compelling a prisoner of war, civilian to serve in the force of hostile power, willfully depriving a prisoner of war or civilians of the rights of fair and regular trial, unlawful deportation or transfer, or unlawful confinement of a civilians, and the last one is taking civilian as hostages. Who can be protected, and who is the protected person under the Geneva Convention? Protected person under the Geneva Convention include civilians and combatants. The first one is protected civilian. Civilians who are in the hands of the adversary must be protected, must be taken good care of, must be getting food and drinks. And the other one is protected combatants, or can be defined as the hostile combat. A person who is injured, a soldier who is injured, adversary who are injured and who surrender, a person who can be qualified as prisoner of war. Prisoner of war must be treated with care. And we will proceed to the elements common to all war crimes. The first one is armed conflict. There must be an armed conflict when and where the alleged crimes were committed. Protected person, the victim must be protected under international humanitarian law. Nexus, the link. There must be sufficient nexus between the accused acts and the armed conflict. Existing IHL. The violation must be a breach of customary or treaty IHL binding on the accused. Gravity. The violation must be serious and involve grave consequences for the victim. Individual criminal responsibility. The violation must entail individual criminal responsibility of persons breaching the rules. And the last one is awareness. It also necessary to prove that the accused was aware that an armed conflict existed. All of the elements must be fulfilled by the perpetrator to be prosecuted under the ICC Court, under the ICC, International Criminal Court. Okay, there are 3 example cases for the war crimes. I choose 3 example cases. The first one is prosecutor against Tadic in the ICTY Court, the former court of for the former Yugoslavia. Prosecutor against Bosco Ntaganda, International Criminal Court, and prosecutor against Fatih Limash in International Criminal, the former of the Yugoslavia. Okay. Then I will explain about the summary of the cases and the judgment that be made by the court to the perpetrators in the prosecutor against Tadic after the takeover of the Brigadier Bosnia and Herzegovina and the attack launched against the town of Kozarak, Bosnia and Herzegovina in 1992. The non-Serb civilians were detained in severe prison facilities where they were beaten, sexually assaulted, tortured, killed, and otherwise mistreated. The appeal chamber also felt that the trial chamber erred in holding that it could not, on the evidence before, be certified beyond reasonable doubt that the appellant had any part in the killing of 5 men, finding Tadic guilty of additional war crimes and crimes against humanity. In the prosecutor against Bosco Ntaganda, Mr. Ntaganda was found guilty of war crimes, including murder and attempted murder, intentionally directing attack against civilians, rape, sexual slavery, ordering the displacement of the civilian population, conscripting and enlisting children under the age of 15 years into an armed group, and using them to participate actively in the hostilities, intentionally directing attacks against protected objects and destroying the adversary property. The chamber awarded collective repression with individualized components. The modalities of repression may include measures of restitution, compensation, rehabilitation, and certification, which may incorporate, when appropriate, a symbolic, preventative, or transformative value. Okay, now we will move on to the last case. I will explain about the last case, prosecutor against Fatimi Limash. Okay. For the Fatimi Limash case, Fatih Limash and Ishak Musfu, a commander in the KLA responsible for the Laspusnik, Arka and prison camp, and Haradim Bala, a guard of the KLA Laspusnik camp prison camp, stood trial for allegedly having planned, instigated, ordered, committed, or otherwise aided and abetted in the planning, preparation or execution of the imprisonment, torture, murder, cruel treatment, and torture of Serb and Albanian citizens in and around the Lapusnik municipality and prison camp. The judgment then being given by the trial chamber committed Bala with violation of the laws and custom of war for torture, cruel treatment, and murder. The trial chamber acquitted Limash and Musliu of all charges in the indictment, finding that the prosecution was unable to establish that they held a position of a command in the KLA, which included command of the KLA soldiers in the village of prison camp of Lapusnik. Okay. From these 3 cases, we can be sure that all of the perpetrators committed sexual assault, killing the civilians, torture, and also destroying the adversary property, making the war crimes is wide. It's really wide. As the action that has any action that violates the rules of war, the IHL, the international humanitarian law, can brought the prosecutor to the can brought to the commander, the individual that responsible for the war crimes to the court. Okay. Now we will move on to the list of war crimes in the statute of the tribunals and the ICC. Before ICC was created, there was a tribunal, the ICTY and the ICTR. The ICTY, International Criminal, the former of Yugoslavia, and the ICTR, the International Criminal Tribunal of the Rwanda. The International Criminal Tribunal of the former Yugoslavia statute lists grave breaches of the Geneva Convention, Article 2 in Article 2, and other violation of laws and custom of war in Article 3. The International Criminal Tribunal of Rwanda statute lists only serious violation of common Article 3 and additional protocol in Article 4. When the ICC statute have been established and been recognized, ICC statute provided for lists for the war crimes, the grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions in Article 8.2a, are the serious violation of laws and customs applicable in international armed conflict, Article 8.2p, the serious violation of Common Article 3 in Article 8.2c, and other serious violation of the law and custom applicable in non-international armed conflict, Article 8.2e. From this we can look that the International Criminal Tribunal of the former Yugoslavia and the International Criminal Tribunal of Rwanda has give some development to the ICC court to fix the flaws of the tribunals, making the ICC court be more function from be more can have a power more than the older tribunals. Okay. Now we move on to the conclusion. The war crimes cases have been prosecuted by the International Criminal Court, International Criminal Reform of Yugoslavia, and the International Criminal Tribunal of Rwanda many times as the tragedy kept happening, and it's very hard to find a solution in stopping the crimes before it happened. The power of ICC only able to prosecute the one who is guilty, however, is still limited, as ICC does not have a power to prosecute the states that are not the member of the Rome Statute. Until today, the member of the state that are not the member of the Rome Statute still committing the war crimes, making the peace and the safety of the civilians are unsure. I think that's all for me. Thank you.